when you're just coming into the religion. Or if you've been in the religion 50 years, you still have the obligation to do that, and you will not do that without waging some sort of spiritual warfare. It's impossible. It's impossible to do that. All the prophets waged spiritual warfare. Every last one of them. All of the Salihun waged spiritual warfare. Every last one of them. All the prophets warned about Shaitan. They warned about Dajjal. All of them. All of our scholars mention that in the beginning of their book. Seeking refuge in Allah from the Shaitan. And Allah says, إِنَّ الشَّيْطَانَ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ فَاتَّخِذُوهُ عَدُوًّا إِنَّمَا يَدْعُو حِزْبَهُ لِيَكُونَ مِنْ أَصْحَابِ السَّعِيرِ. He says, verily, Shaitan is an enemy to you. Therefore, take him therefore an enemy. He only calls his associates to be amongst the companions of the fire. So you have to engage spiritual warfare. There's different methodology. First methodology is to start with self. But if you read Surah An-Nur, because he started the Prophet off on a good path. He says, Noon wal qalabi wa ma yasturun. Noon, and by the pen and what it writes. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he swears by something, it's called qasam. إِنَّهُ لَقَسَمٌ لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عَظِيمٌ. It's a qasam. He's swearing. He's like, I swear by this. It's just to show the greater importance. Look at the Quran, you see Allah swear by this, he swears by this. وَالسَّمَاءِ وَالطَّارِقِ. When he starts the verses off with what they call huruf at-tahajji, that's what they call them. These letters to get your attention. That's how Allah gets people's attention. Alif Lam Mim Hamim Yasin Taha Ma anzalna alayka al-Qur'ana litashqa. It's always something significant after those letters. And in this surah, it was Noon. Well, qalami wa ma yasturun. He said, I swear by the pen, and I swear by what is written down. That's like Allah coming heavy. That's when Allah's coming and listen. You need to pay attention to this. Because the Arabs would get their attention. Because they didn't have any literature that had that style. They hadn't seen that before. They knew poetry. They knew about that. They knew about rhetoric. But they didn't know about no Hamim, Alif Lam Mim, Taha. They didn't know about that. So he says, Noon wal qalabi wa ma yasturun ma anta bi ni'mati rabbika bi majnun. Just the first thing he said to the Prophet ﷺ, he said, you are not, by the grace of your Lord, crazy. Like, forget that notion. What you coming with is the haqq, is the truth. Wa inna laka la ajran ghayra mamnun. That's the wa'ad. That's the promise. That's what Allah does. If you want to go into spiritual warfare, this is how you take it. First, you got to realize that, wait a minute, this is what Allah said. No matter what it is. No matter what it is. This is what the Kitab say. That's what I'm standing on. And you know what? I ain't crazy. Yeah, brother, but if you do that, you got to understand, we living in the so-and-so time. Why you going to do that? It might be bad. We don't get it. No, sis, if you got to understand, everything is everything, keep it real. But the first thing Allah tries to get our attention on, He did with the Prophet ﷺ, you are not, by the grace of your Lord, crazy. وَإِنَّ لَكَ لَأَجْرًا غَيْرَ مَمْنُونٍ. And verily, you shall have a reward that's never ending. That's Jannah. And this is why we work. Because if you just look in the immediate future of what you're trying to do, maybe it may be something where you might see it, that could be damaging, or I might lose a friend, I might lose my job. I might lose my popularity amongst the people if I bust a bubble. Everybody sitting talking about a bunch of nonsense and no brothers, no brothers, hold up brothers. No, that's not right. What y'all talking about is wrong, brother. The attitude you're taking is wrong, brother. The animosity you have towards that brother is wrong. Your backbiting is wrong. You're spreading gossip and stuff, that's wrong, bro. You might bust the whole thing. Man, why you try to bust us? You might get that, but the law puts the promise. Verily you shall receive a reward without end. And he said, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. He said to the Prophet ﷺ, verily you are upon great character. So that the Prophet ﷺ would understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has graced him with good khuluq. Graced him with intelligence, that the message he's getting, although it was different from what people are trying to do in that society, it was still the right thing. So when you wage spiritual warfare, you have to, number one, you have to hold fast to the book. You got to hold fast to the book. We don't read enough kitab. And if Allah promises something, believe it. And you got to trust in Allah. But it do get a little tricky. Because sometimes you got to call people out, brothers and sisters. You do. You do. Sometimes you have to take a stand. That's difficult. I know that's difficult. It's difficult to take a stand on things, especially in this environment where we're supposed to be, everything is okay, everything is all right, nothing, I don't really got no position on this. No. I was in the store the other day, somebody said, oh, happy Halloween. I said, I don't celebrate Halloween, but have a happy day. No, that was, I felt I wanted to take a little stand, not no big deal. I ain't want to, it wasn't any animosity or anything like that. But her stand was happy Halloween. My stand was I don't celebrate Halloween. Because we taking a stand. It's important for a Muslim, for your own personal integrity as a man or a woman, to be willing to take a stand where you stand, to show where you stand, to prove where you stand. That's important. That's not just a religious issue. That's like a man issue. The Prophet talked a lot about wishy-washy people. Allah talked about it. He says they oscillate between the two. They're not with this, they're not with that. It's wishy-washy. The Prophet ﷺ said, أشد الناس عذابا يوم القيامة ذو الوجهين الذي يأتي هؤلاء بوجه وهؤلاء بوجه. He says the worst people who will get the worst punishment in their judgment is two-faced people. Because you go with this person with a face, this person to your face. I always say, brothers and sisters, you be up front. If you about it, be about it. If you about to slam your family, be about it. If you want your family to understand your son, you go home and you teach him. You go tell him some kitab. Don't go home and be all, no, man, take a stand in your house. You don't have to be extreme about it, but be principled, because you have to be principled in order to wage spiritual warfare. We're going back to Surah An-Nur, right? He says, "Inna Allah أعلم بمن ضل عن سبيله وهو أعلم بالمهتدين. He said, really, Allah knows best who swerves away from his path, and He knows best who are rightly guided. So that's Islam al-Tadbibin. So don't follow the rejectors of faith. He ain't say you gotta go fight now and scream. He said, no, don't follow them. So when you're rolling with somebody and they start to reject your faith or reject the principles of your faith, and many times, sometimes that person rejecting your faith, they're Muslims. Many times. Some of the darndest things come out the mouths of Muslims these days. It's like, dude, where are you reading that, man? The whole get down. From liquor store owners who say, salam, dude, you salam at me, I'm just alaikum salam to Allah. I still can't get past that. I can't wrap my head around it. I cannot. Coming into a neighborhood, selling liquor, condoms, porno, and they got to post up this and say, Allah and Muhammad.